Okay, good morning guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is the second of a compilation of videos I'm carrying out for driving test routes in and around about the Wycombe area. Unfortunately it's not a particularly good day today. You might be able to see that it's raining quite hard. This is the 16th of February 2020, just so that if you're looking at it in the future, you know that we're actually in the middle of something called Storm Dennis that has struck us sort of yesterday afternoon, Saturday, high winds on Saturday, Sunday night, and we're getting the aftermath of it now. With torrential rain, unfortunately, but we'll see how it goes. I may have to do a voiceover if too much of the rain noise comes through on the microphone. I've turned the microphone down a little bit, so hopefully you can still hear me, and we'll see how it goes. So just before we get started, if you could like the videos, subscribe, that would be fantastic. That will help the channel out enormously. Turn on the notification bell and then you'll get all the future test routes and any other videos that I may make. If you want to comment below, that's fantastic. Anything that you want me to film, I'll look at and see if I can introduce it as well. I'm going to be doing some manoeuvre roundabouts and probably some mock tests as well, something like that, to hopefully entertain you. Okay, so we're going to carry on. We're going to go on, as I say, the second of the test routes today, and we'll just see how it goes. You can see, as I said, it is absolutely pouring. So we've got a learner in front of us, so I'm just going to check my mirrors and wait for them to come out. Not quite sure what they're doing, but we'll just wait for those. I think possibly they're actually waiting for me. So looking all around, making sure it's safe. We are starting off again from the test centre in Wycombe, and we're proceeding up the road. So you can hopefully see that the end of the road is about 150 metres away. And at the end of the road we've been told to turn right. So we're going to check our centre and right mirror to make sure it's safe, and then we're going to indicate right. Probably about 8 to 10 car lengths away, just left the centre line as you can see, and just looking right and left, right and left. Hopefully the camera can pick up that I can see where I'm going with the turning to the right. So coming out, and check the centre and right mirror again just to make sure it's safe and clear. So we're coming down the road. Hopefully you'll understand that 20 minutes of the test will be what they call independent driving, where you'll be asked to follow either a sat-nav or signs or directions. 80% of the test carried out will be following the sat-nav, 20% signs or directions. So put another way, you've got a 4 out of 5 chance of actually following sat-nav. Most pupils prefer to follow the sat-nav route because obviously it's not only telling you where you're going, but you can see on the blue line and everything, and on the detail within the sat-nav where you're actually going. But if you've been trained correctly, it won't be a problem to you. You should really know where you're going and what's happening. Okay, so we're proceeding down the road, and it's a 30-mile-an-hour road, but you can see hopefully that the road is extremely wet. Lights are on everywhere, so we're just taking it steady coming down here. Got to watch out for potholes, of course, because water has a levelling effect on potholes, and of course if you go through a deep one, which there are lots around at this moment in time, then you're going to have a bit of a problem. So just make sure that you keep in the centre of the lane, not too close to the left on a country road at least, because that's where the problems could lie, on the left hand side where the ruts are. So we're going to come up to the lights. Can't turn left or right at this crossroads from this particular angle, so we're just going to wait here. And remembering, if you are following a sat nav, it wouldn't say anything to you. You'll see the blue line hopefully going ahead, so that's what you'll do. As we go through, you saw a car there start to go through as I started to move. It jumped the light probably. Just double checking right and left to make sure no one's jumping the lights. And we're going to be asked to go ahead at the roundabout that we're going to come up to very shortly. Bit different on this roundabout. Hopefully you'll pick up a sign on the left there that says use the right hand lane to go ahead. So, and it's also on the road. You may or may not be able to see it on the camera. So we're going to go ahead, so we bear to the right, looking right and ahead to see what's going on. I'm going to take that gap and inside, centre and left mirror, indicate left and come into the left. Now we've been told to go ahead at the roundabouts ahead. So once again, we're coming up, bearing slightly to the right now, because there's no right turn on this roundabout, nothing indicating to come around in front of me, so proceeding all the way through. And we will in fact be coming up to another roundabout very shortly, where again we've been told to go ahead. Incidentally, they will say at the beginning of the test, if they don't say anything, you are to go ahead at all times. So they may not say anything, so you just go ahead at all times. So coming up now, there is a car park on our left. On this particular route you may be asked to go in there and do a forward bay park. Quite easy to do a forward bay park. Hopefully I'll do a film on that in the near future, and you can see how I particularly train it. There's a plethora of ways that you can teach the forward bay park, but it seems to be that it works well for me. So checking all the mirrors all the time, coming out from parked cars, coming in from parked cars. Got a runner in the road now, so that's interesting. Gentle braking and just checking the mirrors as we go through. In a moment we're going to come up to a roundabout that we've been told to turn left first exit at. So gently coming up, checking centre and left mirror and indicating left. Gently coming up, pretty closed roundabout this one, you may be able to see in the camera, so going to be very careful and proceed out to make sure it's clear. And then again, new road, new mirrors, just to make sure that everything's okay. So it's still 30-mile-an-hour route here. Checking the mirrors all the time, looking around for any dangers, making sure that I can see what's going on, looking at those cars ahead to see if they're going to be a problem to me, and proceeding down the road. So, the gap that I'm giving today from the car ahead is approximately 4 seconds. So if you've looked at your theory side, you'll know that it's 2 seconds on a dry road, 4 seconds on a wet road, 10 times that on a icy, snowy road. Do make sure you keep your distance on your test, you will be judged on it. Plenty of people can fail because they're keeping to the 2-second rule rather than the 4-second on a wet or rainy day. Not something you want to be doing. Checking my mirrors as I increase speed again. And looking all around to make sure it's safe to proceed around the corner. Getting up a little speed now because it is a 40-mile-an-hour zone. It changed about a quarter of a mile back. Remembering every time you go through a speed change, you check your mirrors just to make sure it's safe and clear. And we're coming up to the end of this road, and we're going to turn left at the end. So still 40 at the moment, and you can see there that there's a sign saying 50 at the end. So that's the speed limit of the new road that we're going into. So I'm checking all the mirrors, coming up, bringing the car round to the left, and gently stopping at the giveaway line, giving lots of gap now to the right, just to make sure it's safe and no one's going to cause a problem to me or me to them. And then new road, new mirrors again, just to make sure that I know there's nothing behind me going to desperately try and overtake. So keeping my speed down just a little bit on this road. It's quite waterlogged in actual fact, with a lot of puddles, as you may have seen there on the camera. I just tried to keep out of it a little bit, but it is horrendous road conditions today. Probably not the best day to be out filming it, but needs must. Had a very busy week, so I haven't been able to get out there with the camera. And indeed last week it was Storm Clara, so it was even worse than this one in actual fact. Trees coming down and all sorts of terrible things happening on the roads. So it doesn't look too bad at the moment, so I'm just checking the mirrors and I'm increasing the speed just a little bit. You can probably see the spray coming off now. Hopefully you're picking this up okay on the microphone. As I said before, I may have to do a voiceover just so as you can hear what's going on really, because the rain beating down on the car. Probably difficult to see what's going on as well. So the speed limit has gone up to national speed limit now, 60, but that's only when it's safe and clear to do so. And you could well argue the fact that it's not really safe or clear in weather conditions like this. So just taking it a bit easy. As you can see, I'm hanging well back from those cars ahead, so if they got into a problem I'd have ample time to brake and stop without causing a problem to me or indeed anybody that may be behind me. So this is a, as I said, national speed limit road. On test day, if it was dry, certainly without too much traffic ahead of you, you would be expected to be doing roughly 60 miles an hour. Keeping it central in the lane. Too many people fail their tests by sort of wandering around the lane a bit, coming too close to the solid white line on the left. So very rutty on the left hand side here. You could cause catastrophic damage to a car. Check the mirrors for the 30, being at 30 when we go through. So back to side of the road on a country road like this, you could cause catastrophic damage to the car by just moving slightly too much to the left where there's no curbstone. So coming down here, you can see probably that the side of the road is absolutely like a river at the moment, but we're going to take the next turn on the left. So mirrors, centre and left indicate, and gently coming round, looking into the road to make sure it's safe to turn, gently in, and then new road, new mirrors again, just to make sure that I know it's safe. And then coming down the road, just checking the mirrors in and out from parked cars, making sure it's safe and clear, nothing overtaking me to come out. And I've passed the object I think I've gone past. There's nothing there pulling away like a bike or a motorbike or something. And again, the examiner will be looking at you to make sure that you're doing all these mirror checks. So I always say to my pupils, if your eyeballs and your neck don't ache after the 40-minute test, you really haven't done enough observations. So I'll just thank this guy for actually holding back for me. So we've been told to turn left at the end of the road. Safe there. Again, new road, new mirrors to make sure it's safe and clear. Looking ahead, and we've been told to take the next turn on the right. So looking all around, looking into the road, I can see two parked cars quite close. So I'm going to come onto my side of the road and then turn around gently, because if there was a car coming down there, I'd have caused a problem and of course that would have been a right corner cut, as they say, so you mustn't do that if you can help it, because that would be very naughty. So I've been told to take the next turn on the left, so mirrors indicate. And nice little hill here, so you could well be asked to pull up on the left up here and then do your hill start. Remember, you're going to do a hill start on test. You're going to do an angled start where you come out at around about 30-degree angle from a parked car quite close ahead of you. So you must make sure you do all your observations and indicator if necessary. I've got the car door in front of me open, so I've got to be careful with that. Don't want to be going too fast round here. You can see lots of parked cars. Checking the mirrors to come back again. Again, going around a blind corner to the right, so anything could be in front of me, going with caution. Car in front of me again, checking my mirrors to come out. Checking right down the road, parked cars on the right now, so scanning down, making sure I can get through. And you've been told at the end of the road to turn left. So, about 8 to 10 car lengths away, check your mirrors, indicate left, and then follow the curb round to the left. Interesting situation now, we've got lots of parked cars on the other side of the road, and if I was to proceed out now, there's a car coming up that is going to cause a problem, so he's going to let me go. So I'm going to come out now and thank him very much for letting me go. So we're going to carry on, proceed down the road, but as you could see there, if I'd have come out and he hadn't let me go, that would have been a problem, because it was his road, not mine. I was in the minor road, he was in the major. Probably seen all the L plates on the car and thought that a learner was driving. So, end of the road, turn right, and then at the end of the road where it meets the main road, we're going to turn left, checking all the mirrors once again to make sure it's safe and clear. So mirrors, centre and left indicate left, and come round. Coming up to 30 miles an hour, checking the mirrors to make sure it's safe. And proceeded down at 30 miles an hour, still a 30 mile an hour speed limit here. So we haven't really had any dramas or problems on this particular route so far. And we've been told at the roundabout to turn left. So central left mirror indicate left. Looking to the right and left, nothing coming, so I'm just going to proceed through. And then check my mirrors for the new speed limit and the new road, get up to 40 miles an hour, because that's what it said. Hopefully you saw that on the camera. So we are actually at 40 miles an hour now. No reason why we shouldn't be doing 40 miles an hour, the road's fairly clear. I know that it's a little damp out there, but no real problems at the moment. And you can see a national speed limit sign coming up, so check mirrors again, put a little bit more gas on, just so the examiner knows that you've seen the sign and that you're reacting to it. Otherwise they could just turn around and say, well, there was a national speed limit sign, you didn't react to it, you're failing to make progress. So at least I've increased the speed to 50 miles an hour now. Don't particularly feel safe to go anything above 50 miles an hour, because as you can see, road conditions are not good. And I don't want to have any problems with anybody ahead of me either. So 50 miles an hour, safe speed to be going down this road now. You might be able to see on the left, there's a positive river flowing down. Don't really want to get into that. So I'm going to actually, once I've come around this corner, increase speed just a little bit, because it's flattening out now. Got to watch these big puddles because they do tend to pull the car somewhat. I'm wondering what the weather will be like next weekend. It's 2 weekends in a row we've had a storm. Unfortunately, we're quite used to that in this country. So we've got a cyclist ahead of us. I don't know whether you saw that come out. Now, with the puddles on the left hand side, he could cause a problem because he could start to come round. So I'm going to reduce the speed, keep well back from him, make sure it's safe and clear before I overtake. Centre and right mirror check, 2 meters clearance from a cyclist, mirrors to come back again, make sure it's safe and clear. We've been told to keep to the left at the roundabout ahead, following signs Aylesbury A4010. So you might be able to see on the road, don't know there, that the A4010 was on this lane. Got to be careful here because there is a yellow box in front of me on the road, so we don't particularly want to be putting the car in there if we can't get out of it. Not only would you fail your test, but it's actually of course illegal. If you can't get out of it, you shouldn't go into it. These lights take a while to change and then only give you about sort of 3 or 4 seconds to get out and get going. So it's normally able to clear about 3 or 4 cars and then it will change back to red. Not a particularly busy route on this particular road. So check my mirrors, make sure it's safe, keep in the left hand lane, and of course I can clear the yellow box. So not particularly good driving from the BMW driver ahead, cut in front of me, probably trying to get in front of the learner thinking that I was actually a learner. So checking all around again, making sure it's safe, and then proceeding down. So after coming out of me like that, he's now going quite slowly. So mirrors centre left, indicate left and come to the left. And then we've been told to go ahead, second exit at the roundabout ahead. Difficult to ascertain where the traffic's going now ahead because there's 2 lanes that you can actually go ahead on here. So just got to make sure we know where everybody's going on this particular one. No particular issues, making sure the car on the left stays still. Road particularly bad coming down here, as you might be able to see. So 40 mile an hour road, but I'm going to be just going with a little bit of caution now. Just making sure that it's safe and clear. And we've been told to go ahead at the roundabout ahead, second exit. So checking my mirrors, keeping to the left hand lane this time, and start looking to the right and ahead, right and ahead. Got to be careful now because the cars on the right are using the right hand lane to go ahead. Got to take that gap, centre and left mirror check, indicate left, and then come around to the left. Got a learner in front going quite slow, so I'll just keep my distance from them. And then at the next roundabout, you've been told to turn right, third exit. So looking all around, making sure it's safe. Keeping approximately 1 meter away from the curb. Centre and right mirror check, indicate right, come to the right hand side, turn right, third exit. Making sure that learner stays where they are. So we're looking right and ahead, no problems there, so I'm going to go, making sure this learner doesn't cut across. And mirrors centre and left, indicate left, come to the left. Huge Great Lake in the road now, so go with caution. That was interesting. And back on the gas now. So coming up to a crossroads, and we've been told to turn right at the actual crossroads. So centre and left, sorry, we've been told to turn left, my mistake. So we're going to turn centre and left and indicate left. You can't actually turn right at this particular crossroads. Again, you're looking to make sure that no one's jumping the lights when you start to go across. So gently through, check into the right to make sure it's clear, and coming back round. Checking the mirrors so I know that it's safe and clear before I start to move the speed up a little bit. Checking the zebra crossing to make sure it's safe. Keeping away from the side of the road now, because I happen to know that there's lots of horrible potholes down this road on the left hand side. Some of them you can't avoid, but hopefully most of them you can. And getting quite close to the test centre now. Keeping my speed at 30 miles an hour. Just keep checking the mirrors for any hazards that might come around. Keep it at 30, checking the junction on the left. And centre and right mirror check to come out. A metre away from any parked cars. And then centre and left mirror when I've gone past. And then we've been told to take the next turn on the left. So central left mirror check indicates looking into the road to make sure it's safe and clear, and then gently round. Being careful of this bumpy road now down here, probably picking up that it's quite bumpy coming down. Industrial estate, this one, lots of lorries come down this road, so it tends to ruin it quite quickly. But we are coming down. You'd be told to turn left through the green gates at the bottom. Of course we're not going to do that. We'll just pull up outside and we'll just stay here. Hopefully you can see the test centre, the green and white building over to our right. So that's it. Not a particularly difficult test route. Hopefully you saw everything that could potentially go wrong. Several things, obviously, with the high-speed roads, 60 mile an hour national speed limit roads. You must keep central to your lane. Don't wander around, otherwise they tend to get a little concerned, the examiners, of course. You would, of course, do a reversing manoeuvre. As I said to you before, on that route you could easily be asked to do a forward bay park, but sometimes they ask you to pull up on the right and reverse back 2 car lengths as well. So it depends on what they want to do at the time. So as I said before, if you could actually subscribe, that'd be fantastic. That'll help the channel out immensely. And if you could turn on the notification bell, that would be amazing. Then you'll get all the new videos. And of course, if there's other videos that you want me to do, then just comment below and I'll see if I can actually arrange that for you. As I said before, we're going to do lots of other test routes. There's about 30 odd test routes that we can do, and we'll be doing some mock tests with some real life pupils, and we'll be filming the manoeuvres, all of the manoeuvres, and yeah, any other things that you want to see, just let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching and have a good day, hopefully better than the weather outside for you at this moment in time.